This is fantastic. I heard the ice whoomping and crackling and smashing and tinkling last night, and the wind has blown it a couple 100 meters offshore. This will make today so much easier. The wind has shifted, and that gap now is getting smaller and smaller. So I'm not having breakfast. I'm not even getting properly squared away. I'm just going. I got to make it past this point. I'm a mess. The boat isn't properly stored. The spray deck isn't on. I haven't eaten, but I did make it through that lead while it was still open, and it was closing as I paddled through it. So I'm super glad I got through. Now it's time to stop and sort myself out. Got out of there just in time. If I'd stayed there another 2 minutes, the ice would have come in and kept me trapped there for God knows how long. So I'm heading across the bay here, and when I'm halfway across, hopefully the bugs will die down and then I can actually eat something, and then we'll see what it's like on the rapids that exit this lake. That'd be fun, eh? Running rapids with giant blocks of ice that are a foot to 2 foot thick coming down the rapids with you. We'll figure that one out when we get to it. It's amazing how many bugs there can be in the middle of a lake that's half covered with ice. You'd think it'd either be ice or bugs, but no, it can be both. Look at this, the giant caribou rack. I would love to take this with me, but I can't. Wow. What a beauty. We're definitely in caribou country now. Typically, they're a little bit further north this time of year, but really, we could come across one, we could come across a herd. It's very exciting to start seeing signs of caribou. It's amazing how dependent on caribou the native people were. The Inuit and the Dene who lived here, the caribou was their life. It was their food, it was their clothing, it was their shelter. A lot of their tools came from the bones and the sinew. It was incredibly central. It was kind of like the Plains Indians' dependence on the buffalo. The native peoples here dependence on the caribou was just absolutely critical. There are lots of giant crossings today, and the weather's perfect. It's just completely flat, so I'm very grateful for that. The thing is though, because of the lack of trees, as you're paddling towards the distant shore, it doesn't look any different. It looks the same, it looks the same, it looks the same, it looks the same. When am I getting there? When am I getting there? When am I getting there? Oh, hey, I'm here. And then you head off for the next shore, it's the same thing. You cannot see the scale of the landscape because it's all tundra and just hills. So the shape looks the same regardless if you're 1 kilometer away, 2 kilometers away, 3 kilometers away. I seem to have left the ice behind. From studying the air photos of 20 years of breakup, I know that most of the time the ice tends to melt and form one big giant pancake, but somewhere in this northern portion of the lake, and then it bounces back and forth up here. So assuming that it's not one of the years that there's 2 pancakes, assuming there's just 1 pancake, it's somewhere behind me. And that means I shouldn't have any problem with ice for the rest of the lake, probably. I'm doing these crossings, but I'm keeping a very careful eye on that there cloud. I think it might be a cumulonimbus, hard to tell, but that's a thunderhead. So obviously it generates lightning and also really high winds and gusts. It can be really dangerous if you're out in the open. Well, I paddled pretty hard on that crossing, and
Although there was a little bit of gusting by the end, there was nothing bad. The clouds didn't catch up to me. But once I'd gotten to the far side, it's called Fox Narrows, once I got to the beach here, wow, then the wind started. So that was perfectly timed. It's called Fox Narrows, incidentally, because apparently there's a family of foxes here that raises kits. And I found the foxes. Unfortunately, I found what was left of them. Something, a bear or a wolverine, had just absolutely massacred them. And there's tons of fur and ribs, and it's quite sad because I've been looking forward to seeing them. I hope that some of them got away and are going to come back and repopulate this area in the future. It'd be sad to have Fox Narrows without foxes.